Hello everyone, today we'll be playing.
It was a dark and stormy Monday. Like any other day of autumn, the sky was overcast, but the students of middling middle school were unfazed by the gloom. Instead, the halls were unusually charged with electric excitement and spectacular anticipation.
And last but certainly not least, today marks the first day of Halloween Spirit Week. It's time to decorate your homeroom.
The students collectively groaned.
First place gets a prize.
That's
That's right. The first place class gets their own pumpkin pie and ice cream party. So, put your best effort in, everyone, if you want. More info online or, around. Yeah, keep an eye out for those Spirit Week posters, y'all. Happy spooky season, mascots!
I heard Mrs. Ramirez's class had something really good planned for their deco. Like guaranteed been good.
Yeah. They're just trying to intimidate us by spreading rumors.
Are they?
Besides, remember last year? Everyone said that one homeroom class had it in the bag, but then there was that fire.
Fire!
Oh yeah, the 8-foot skeleton incident.
A Home Depot skeleton.
Exactly. Did they ever find out who let that skunk loose?
I don't think so.
Well, the point is, who knows what'll happen this year?
I guess we do have a lot of talented people in our class, like...
Like?
Oh, hey, Tabby!
Good morning, Tabby.
Tabby was not having a good morning, I could tell. In fact, Tabby never had a good morning when she was at school. Neither did I. There was too many people looking her way, watching her every move, waiting for her to trip up so they could laugh at her. Jeez.
They're always sneering at me. Like they think their little cliques are too good for me.
Hey, Tabby!
Like I'm less than them. Less than human.
Man, Tabby is so cool.
Yeah, the real aloof type, like a spy or a secret agent, or somebody who's undercover.
Pretty sure those are all the same thing.
I always want to ask her to hang out, but I'm like super intimidated. Think she would say yes?
Just because we're in the same homeroom? Not a chance. Way too cool for us.
Yeah, NPCs. Tabby grew out of wanting friends fast. Endless bullying will do that to someone. She couldn't even imagine being that naive anymore. Tabby was fully aware that this was her destiny, to be alone, unwanted, forcibly isolated.
Excuse me. Need to get to my locker.
I'm having a dramatic moment. Can you just go?
Hello? You good?
No. Molten rage and mild embarrassment bubbled through Tabby as she stared into the face of her ultimate nemesis, Eden. Eden something or other. Last names didn't matter. It was how he treated her that made her seethe with frustration.
I hate him. I hate him. Always ready to tear me down at the first sign of weakness. I can see it in his eyes now. He's going to.
Listen, are you gonna move or do I have to move you? I don't want to be late to class. Come on, let me through.
Was that a threat?
What?
What?
What the hell? Tabby clasped her hand to her mouth, worrying she had thrown herself into unnecessary danger. Who knew how bullies like Eden might react to being questioned? She looked around in vain at the crowd milling around them, not seeing a single friendly face. Oh help, I'm such a damsel in distress.
I can't trust any of these bystanders to stand up for me. If only there was a teacher around.
Is that the bell?
No.
I'm just gonna go for it. Excuse me.
Tabby watched in horror as Eden reached for her. Defend yourself. Hesitate. Try to see the most dramatic queen I can be. Defend myself unnecessarily. Before she even knew what was happening, Tabby's hand moved on defensive instinct, making contact with Eden's face. The resulting smack was pitiful to hear, and Eden seemed more confused than hurt. Poor guy didn't deserve that.
Ow!
I was just trying to defend myself. You were going to hurt me.
Definitely.
Who's screaming? What's going on here?
Nothing.
Come on, kids. Class is almost starting. Why are the two of you still loitering around?
I love that his head's cut off like cow and chicken. Tabby spun towards her homeroom teacher's voice in recognition, searching for his authoritative presence.
Mr. Teacher, did you see him?
Sorry, Teach. Tabby just wouldn't move.
The hallway rapidly emptied out around them as any stragglers and witnesses fled through their respective
I
classrooms.
just need to get my books. Promise.
Pinky?
Is there a reason you can't move away from Eden's locker, Tabby?
Yes, actually. I don't know if I knew that, dude. Tabby gawked incredulously at her homeroom teacher and then stepped off to the side, shaking her head
How
no.
could Mr. Teacher take the side of a known bully?
Yes, how dare he? Honestly, she should have known. No one would be on her side, not even the ones in charge.
Since I'm on my way to class too, and I have the worst headache from moving pumpkins all morning across campus, I'll give you all a pass. You
Yay!
better be in your seats by the time I get there. But no running.
Of course, teacher.
That
Of course.
includes you too, Caleb. I know you're just waiting for your friends, but don't let them make you late.
Me? This me? Hello, Caleb. What? Did a bear walk in this hallway? For just a second, Tabby considered speaking up and pleading her case, but the moment passed as quickly as it came. Mr. Teacher didn't bother to linger, all but jogging off to greet a different group of students. Tabby stared sullenly at his back before walking briskly in the direction of her classroom.
All right, settle down, kids.
Mr. Teacher attempted to rein his homeroom class for the 5th time that morning. But just like every other year, the students were too excited about Halloween Spirit Week to pay attention. He decided to launch into his 3-part lesson on the history of Halloween anyway.
Halloween originated from the pagan festival Samhain, which marked the end of the harvest and the dwindling berry between humans and the other world.
A portion of the students fell for his well-rehearsed hook and began to quiet down.
It's easy to forget about all of that in the modern-day Halloween traditions, but if you take a closer look, you'll see that many have deeper historical roots. It's really quite fascinating stuff.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Even so, a handful of students continued to discuss their Halloween plans in hushed excitement.
I can't wait for you guys to see how awesome I made my costume for the Halloween party. The lady with the super freaky haunted house on my block helped me design it.
Sorry, I'm just looking at this. I'm like, yes, I would absolutely love to see that.
I still can't decide whether to be a zombie werewolf or a vampire ghost.
Good question.
Unless... Do you think I could be a zombie werewolf vampire ghost?
I'd like to see you try.
Oh, are we talking costumes? $20, my monster costume is the scariest.
How fitting for the bully to love terrifying people.
Your face already scares me.
I even got Caleb to laugh. The other kids nearby laughed in surprise too, which caught Mr. Teacher's attention.
Is something funny? Tabby, do you have something to share with the class?
No. Tabby felt her stomach drop as the whole class turned to stare at her. Of course, he let his favorite students get away with talking during class, but not her. Tabby tried to swallow the lump forming in her throat, but she just became more nervous by the second.
I think we're all just excited to dress up for Halloween. I know I can't wait to decorate homeroom.
Why are they standing up for me?
That's great, but I still have 30 more exciting slides about Halloween throughout the decades.
The class collectively groaned. Tabby breathed a quiet sigh of relief.
It's really quite interesting. There's fascinating tie-ins with the Day of the Dead and the glorious gourds of harvest. I could wax poetic about it.
You could what poetic about it?
You already gave this presentation before.
Well, I did more research, and now I have extra footnotes.
Then just talk about those footnotes. The class collectively groaned again.
Oh, fine. I don't know how I'm supposed to have a normal class this week anyway. Why don't we put a twist on it by giving historical context to our proposed decorations?
What, reenact the Salem witch trials?
That That's a cool idea. We could pretend to burn you.
What? He totally just threatened me in front of the class. Surely Mr. Teacher won't let that slide.
Yeah, Tabby would be such a good witch.
I don't know if the school board would approve of that.
You don't know if they would? Not sure if they would approve a witch burning.
He's just going to brush it off?
All right, kids. I'll start dividing the class decoration types into groups and share a mini lesson about each of them. So, listen up. For instance, why do you think pumpkins became associated with Halloween?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
There's something else that's happening around the same time. If you want to take care of the jack-o'-lanterns, try and answer.
What? Eager hands shot up in the air. Mr. Teacher picked out one of them.
Because it's harvest season?
Ding, 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 ding! You got it! Harvest season is decorative gourd season, folks. Carving pumpkins was a tradition before Halloween. But the term jack-o'-lantern started with Stingy Jack, an Irish legend that will give you the heebie-jeebies.
Tabby tuned the rest of the lecture out, only listening for what themed decoration was being offered next. Mr. Teacher droned on until finally...
Why do you think Halloween was associated with death? Whoever gets this one gets to be in charge of making all of our skulls and skeletons.
Tabby was never a class participation kind of girl, but now her hand flew up in the air. Mr. Teacher! The teacher looked at Tabby, eyebrows raised in acknowledgement. By some Halloween miracle, she could see her name forming on his lips.
Probably because winter is coming, right?
How dare you, Eden?
Back then, lots of people died in the winter.
That's correct, Eden. Winters 2,000 years ago meant...
Tabby seized at the injustice of it
How
all.
could they do this to me?
Yes, how dare they? Tabby was one with the special connection with skeletons, but every single year. Well, only last year, but last year, Eden swept in and snatched what she wanted, what she deserved.
Hey! I had my hand up. He interrupted.
Yes, because you're the only other person who had your hand up. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, taken aback as if he forgot she even existed.
Oh. Well, you can answer the next question.
Tabby gritted her teeth. She really didn't want to let this go, but everyone was staring at her stupid cheeks that were getting redder and redder.
That's just stupid. It's not fair.
That even as Tabby clapped a hand to her mouth at her outburst, Mr. Teacher raised an eyebrow in judgment. The angry part of Tabby wished she could smack the disapproving expression off his face. But her frustration withered away as she crumbled into herself, heart sinking.
I'll always be the first to get picked on. And the last pick for everything else.
How about you let me continue the lesson and the two of you can work together?
What?
This is Spirit Week and I really don't want to give any detentions for disrupting class.
Sounds cool. I'm sure Tabby will come up with something really freaky. You know, given how into this stuff she is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, totally. She's the type to freak people out. It's awesome.
Oh, it's awesome.
Too bad Tabby works alone.
Like Batman. Ooh, or the Joker.
Eden grinned at Tabby. Tabby felt a horrified shiver run down her spine, and she braced herself for what was coming.
She looks like him too. If you turned his smile upside down.
What? The other students teetered at that in typical middle school fashion.
Hey, for real, Tabby would be the best villain.
They're laughing at me now.
Oh yes, now they are.
All laughing at me because of him.
Settle down, class. And that's not nice, Eden.
Only joking. Tabby got me good earlier too. That's just how we do, right, Tabs?
Eden held out a fist towards Tabby. Tabby fixed him with her best death glare.
Classic Tabby.
Well, Tabby, if you want, you can work with Eden and...
I
And?
am not working with Eden.
There's still a couple of other decorations up for grabs.
She scowled at Mr. Teacher.
He's still picking Eden over me?
Sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much.
Why? Why do they all love him so much? What do they see in a bully like him?
The class moved on, with Tabby just sat reliving the feelings of everyone laughing at her. Soon, all the decorations were assigned and the class split off into their working groups. Slowly, the room began to look more and more spooktacular. As a reward of their hard work, Mr. Teacher handed out spooky stickers spouting Halloween facts all the while. But of course, he skipped over Tabby entirely.
Hey,
Ooh.
how come Tabby isn't helping?
Psst. Tabby, do you want to join my group?
It's not too late to team up if you want to do skeletons.
Only reject Stu's invitation, Jonathan's investigation. What words am I saying? Reject Eden's invitation. Who should I point out? Jeez, any of these NPCs or Eden? Yeah, Jonathan. Antisocial club. Who needs friends? They were clearly taunting her. No point staying around a bunch of bullies. Tabby started packing up her bag, watching the clock anxiously so she could be the first one out of class when the bell rang.
I really think you should have been the one to do skeletons.
Really, Caleb?
We can talk to Mr. Teacher together if you like.
Tabby's mind struggled to make sense of what was happening. It's struggling in my mind, too.
Wait, is he talking to me?
No, he's talking to that wall over there.
What was his name again?
Caleb? She had never even spoken to this popular kid before, much less seen him approach her general vicinity.
He's not making fun of me, is he?
Ooh.
Listen, you're not the only one Eden's burned before.
Oh?
Maybe together, we can finally knock him down a peg.
This isn't a trick, is it?
I am Caleb, and this is no trick. I'll stand by your side.
This is suspicious. Caitlin patted Tabby on the shoulder and she recoiled, almost hissing at him. Personal space, please. But then, oddly enough, Tabby felt a tingle on her shoulder where he had touched her, like butterflies were dancing on her skin. I'm sorry, what? Gross. She wasn't developing a crush, was she? Oh. Caitlin gave her a small smile.
So what do you say? Shall we tackle this together?
Wasn't that what she had always wanted? To have someone see her, really see her as a person worth talking to? Now here was someone who was ready to back her up at last.
Okay, we can stay behind after class then.
Oh,
Perfect.
she's gonna do it.
I'll get Eden to stick around and we can tell Mr. Teacher what happened.
What? No! Just the two of us. I don't want him around.
No. Tabby, trust me, he needs to be there.
No! He'll just ruin everything by charming Mr. Teacher, like always. I'm not going if Eden is.
Tabby crossed her arms.
All right, as you wish.
Caleb inclined his head at Tabby in thoughtful agreement. As the rest of the students continued to work on bringing that Halloween spirit to life, Tabby bounced in her seat, almost vibrating in place with sudden energy. She barely heard Mr. Teacher announce to the class that it was time to clean up. Not long after, the bell rang. The other students shuffled out the door until there was only Caleb and Tabby left. Oh, here comes the drama. Tabby turned her critical gaze towards Mr. Teacher and prepped herself to approach. Mr. Teacher hummed to himself, trying to ignore the grouchy elephant in the room. He reminded himself that he became a teacher because he wanted to inspire the next generation. I'm here for this reason. Don't quit. Don't quit. He genuinely cared about his lessons and wanted everyone to enjoy his classes. But for reasons out of his control, kids could be real pains. There were kids who tuned his lessons out, kids who rolled their eyes at everything he said, even kids who managed to scowl at him for a full hour. Kids like Tabitha Bones. I'm sorry, my last name is Bones? Her expression had been so disarming, so spooky, that he had been too nervous to even go near her. Now she was standing in front of his desk with her arms crossed and an equally wicked scowl on her face. What reason did she have to glower at him? If anything, if the horror stories from the other teachers were to be believed, rumor had it, last Halloween, a girl with a permanently gloomy demeanor had attempted to bring butcher bones in as decorations. While the girl in question didn't have any bones on hand now, Mr. Teacher willed himself to be brave. He cleared his throat once, twice. Of course.
Tabby, can I help you?
Tabby took a deep breath, sensing the reservations Mr. Teacher had towards her. She was glad Caleb was with her. He is. Where is he?
I don't think you should let Eden decorate skeletons instead of me.
Mr. Teacher stared at her in stunned silence. Tabby sped onwards, afraid to lose her courage.
He's clearly a bully, and if you side with him, you're a bad teacher.
Oh! Mr. Teacher furrowed his brow, lip trembling ever so slightly. Ouch! He was hurt by Tabby's words more than either of them probably expected. She could probably sniff out his people-pleasing tendencies, but he could just as easily put them away, especially to call out students who had stepped out of line.
Look, I'm not sure why you wouldn't let Eden get to his locker, or why you said he was scary looking. Yes, I heard what you said.
No! Tabby glared at him, readying herself for an accusation. Mr. Teacher braced himself against his desk, trying to remain calm at the obvious hatred being beamed towards him. What are you gonna say, teacher? Huh?
I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but I'm going to call Eden here and we can resolve this once and for all.
No, I don't want to be near him. I want you to listen. Caleb agrees with me too.
Yes. Caleb, come over here. Tabby gestured at the spot next to her, only to be met with an empty space. Caleb! Caleb, get over here! Mr. Teacher's frown deepened and he flexed his fingers in agitation. What kind of bluff was she trying to pull? There were no other students left in the room. Caleb?
I'm sure we can resolve this right now.
Mr. Teacher got up from his desk, glad to be out of range from Tabby's burning gaze. He poked his head out of the classroom, hoping Eden hadn't wandered off already. Luckily, the boy was still close by. Wait, why? Why was he close by, chatting with a familiar green-haired student? Caleb, I swear! Mr. Teacher felt vindicated at seeing Caleb out in the hallway. Clearly, Tabby had been mistaken.
Eden, could you step inside for a moment?
Eden raised his eyebrows, but didn't hesitate to re-enter the classroom.
What's this about?
Nothing, Eden. You can go. This was a huge misunderstanding.
No!
Use your words, Tabby.
Tabby exhaled loudly. From the outside, she appeared to be flaring her nostrils in deep frustration.
You took the decorations I wanted. Again!
Eden shrugged.
No biggie. Let's do it together after class.
Why you want to spend some time together with me so badly, huh, Eden?
No biggie. Yes, biggie. You always get what you want.
Huh? Like when?
You get away with everything. Like that time you put gum in my hair and I had to cut off my pigtails.
Wait!
When did I do that? I haven't even chewed gum since the 3rd grade. Oh, wait. Oh, that was you? I totally forgot.
That's it? Do you have any idea how long it took to grow it back?
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's not funny. And Caleb agrees.
Why are you bringing Caleb into this? No.
Caleb? What's Caleb got to do with this?
Mr. Teacher pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling an uncomfortable tingling in his brow, like a headache was settling in. Please stop! I'm going to quit after today. I retire. This isn't worth it. Or worse, a migraine. Achievement headache inducing? Middling migraine? Children, am I right? I didn't even do anything. Children were always so noisy. He hoped they would settle down soon. Not that they ever did. Never fast enough. Never listening to his pleas to be quiet.
Be quiet.
But
Yet he still pleads.
Be quiet.
Please stop. Tabby and Eden both fell silent, unused to this harsher tone from their homeroom teacher.
There. Was that so hard?
I'm not losing my mind at all. No, it didn't need to be. All those years of being a doormat for kids much too young to know better than him. Waves of resentment washed over him, built up from countless instances of holding his tongue, of being the adult. That's right, he was in charge, not them. He needed to reclaim his space and authority.
Both of you, get out.
Please.
Teach? You look a bit weird. You know, pukey.
Using Mr. Teacher as a distraction, I see.
But is he wrong? That was low, even for Eden. Wait, what?
Please, get out.
Mr. Teacher's voice was strained and whispery. Eden probably hurt his feelings.
Alright. See you later, Teach.
What a jerk.
What? Who is? Mr. Teacher clutched his head, gritting his teeth.
Should I get a nurse?
He didn't trust himself to speak. Probably a good idea. Instead, he shut his eyes tight, hoping Tabby would be magically gone when he opened them again. Get Mr. Teacher's attention, hover awkwardly in silence. What's worse? Probably the worst thing would be this one.
Mr. Teacher? Hello? Mr. Teacher?
Mr. Teacher clenched his jaw. He tried to ignore her, but her whiny voice was impossible to tune out, like the sound of a baby crying in the middle of the night. Mr. Teacher's eyes snapped open. The sight of Tabby still standing around and glaring at him made his blood pressure spike. Why was that brat still here? Hadn't he told her to leave? She never listened, always thinking she was in the right, always thinking she knew best. A little brat like her? The tingling got worse, making it harder for Mr. Teacher to think clearly. Is he about to have a heart attack? Only one line of thought made it through the mental fog.
Mr. Teacher?
What's he about to do? Tabby shrunk back fearfully as Mr. Teacher smiled, a too wide smile with too many teeth.
You brats just love testing my patience, don't you?
Maybe.
Cat students get detention, but that would be a bigger punishment for me than you.
Probably.
After all, children who don't listen are no better than vermin. And as we know from history, vermin deserve a far worse punishment. Can you guess what that is?
No, what's that? Tabby backed away, bumping immediately into a desk. The blood seemed to drain from her face.
Oh, come on, Tabby. There's a fun little sticker in it for you.
Expulsion?
Tabby, you should have paid more attention in class instead of scowling all the time. The answer is extermination.
Extermination? Sir, why do you have green on you? Why do you have... What? Tabby jumped out of the way as Mr. Teacher's brand new claws just barely missed her arm. What is happening here? I agree, claws? A desk that Tabby had just been standing in front of crumbled beneath Mr. Teacher's weight.
Oh.
No, what landed and stared at Tabby from the wreckage with cool reptilian eyes was not Mr. Teacher. Instead, Mr. Monster? He, or it, lunged at her once more. What? She dove under the nearest desk, but she didn't dare to stay there for long. Tabby crawled towards the next set of tables as fast as her poor athletic record allowed. The desk she had just been under flew across the room and shattered against the wall. Jeez! With desperation and fear coursing through her, Tabby scrambled to her feet. Run!
Please, 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 please!
Gutting it for the classroom door, Tabby pounced on the doorknob.
Of course, it's locked!
Why is it locked? Did you lock it? What's his name? Eden?
Of course! Why would it work? Everything else to be going wrong, why not this too?
From behind, she could hear warbling, snarling before a dark shape sailed overhead. The pulverizing debris of what had once been a desk rained down on her. Tabby shrieked and covered her head. She tried the doorknob again, despite knowing it was no use.
Help! Someone! Help!
Tabby whipped around, pressing herself into the door like she might be able to phase through it. So the monster approached her with a bloodthirsty aura and clever eyes. He had her cornered and he knew it. At the sight of his misshapen, uncanny, too-sharp grin, Tabby's legs gave out like her body knew the fight would be over soon. She couldn't blame them. Everyone had always abandoned her in the end. Wait, this is more than abandoning, girl. Why try anymore?
It's useless. I'm useless.
There was nothing more she could do. It's not like Mr. Teacher was ever going to listen. He never had before, so why would this time be any different? She just wished, for once in her miserable life, someone would have really, truly stayed by her side. What's that?
Hiya, Tabby. I'm...
What the crap?
Mr. Monster chased after the new nuisance, his jaws snapping wildly. Whatever the tiny creature was, it zipped around the room in a panic.
I'm Strength, and I'm here to guide you on your... What the bleep is this? Tabitha Bounce!
Leaped himself. Tabby gaped at the little guy in alarm. Bro, who are you? She had no energy left. The fight was as good as over. What did it want from her?
Don't just stand there!
What do you want me to do? Help! Tabby took one long look at Mr. Monster's terrifying teeth and the tiny red being running around the desk and hightailing it to the corner of the room as far as from them as possible.
It's a goddamn monster! I'm just a little girl!
Yeah, bro! Come on!
What are you anyway?
Are you a sprite?
I'm a pixie!
A pixie?
And I can't handle this on my own!
Mr. Monster swiped at Strength, who darted into a high corner of the ceiling temporarily out of his reach. The pixie huffed, eyeing Mr. Monster nervously. He threw an equally nervous glance at Tabby. Suddenly and unexpectedly, Strength brightened up, snapping his finger.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll just give you some candy.
Candy? Strength whipped out a sparkly wand the size of his body from who knows where. I don't want to know.
Candy? How the hell is a piece of candy gonna help us right now?
My question exactly.
Also, I don't take candy from strangers.
Good advice.
Eat it or we'll die! It's magic!
Fair argument. Mr. Monster pounced at Strength, wiping his claws at the shiny object.
No toys in class.
That's your problem? Wand flew out of Strength's hand and spun towards Tabby.
Use the wand!
Alright, Tabby grabbed it and let out a few practice swings, preparing to bash whatever came her way with it.
And not like that!
Well, what do you want me to do? Despite zipping through the air to avoid Mr. Monster's jaws, Strength's voice reached Tabby with surprisingly clear instructions.
The candy, Tabby! You have to eat the candy!
Yes, sir. While Mr. Monster was still fixated on Strength, Tabby weighed her options. Do this, or I die. Refuse to eat the candy. Eat the candy angrily. I will eat the candy, but only because I want to, not because you told me to. Candy from a stranger tastes like regret. Tabby gripped the wand with fear and fury. She hated being told what to do, but if it was a choice between suspicious candy and the jaws of a monster, well, she'd take the jawbreaker any day. But it had better not be strawberry flavored. I swear if it is. It's gonna be pixie flavored. I'm truly a joke. Tabby tried to reorient herself in space, frantically looking for the whereabouts of the monster in the room. Mr. Monster stared back at Tabby, a bewildered expression on his face. He didn't seem to be coming after her just yet, but... Tabby quickly scanned the room for any sign of strength. Had he been eaten already? Well, she had been ready to rip into him, demand an explanation for, well, everything. She glanced down at herself, trying to pinpoint the source of the soft jingling noise she kept hearing.
What is this?
A jester outfit? A giant pom-pom obstructed part of her view, beyond which all she could see was a gaudy mix of red and black.
What the hell is this? Is this a joke? I knew it. This is a goddamn prank, isn't it?
Well, that's new. It's okay, everything will be okay. We can work with this.
Strength continued rambling, but was nowhere to be seen. Was his voice coming from inside Tabby's brain? I didn't think that's where he was.
Great. I definitely imagined him.
Well, it seems like we're stuck together. Yup, I can't move at all, and that's totally okay.
Totally, bro.
I'll just take you through everything. They didn't warn me about this, but it's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. Let's just calm down and figure this out.
God, this is it. I finally cracked. Even my imaginary friends are freaking out.
Tabby started to shake, half crying, half laughing at the ridiculous situation. The bells on her horrific outfit jingled with her tremors. Mr. Monster tilted his head at the sound, eyes glinting. Ding ting, clink ting, tling. Why am I saying that when it literally did itself? I don't know. I love embarrassing myself.
Watch out!
Mr. Monster was before her in one pounce, his claws racked through the air, straight towards Tabby's head. By pure instinct, Tabby dodged the attack, doing a backflip across the room.
Huh? Did I just do that? How?
That's the power of strength.
But I don't have strength. I can barely do a push-up.
Girl, same.
You do now, Tabs. With me at the helm, we're unstoppable. Now get us out of here.
Sure. Tabby did feel a little stronger than usual, but a backflip? Maybe that candy was magic.
What else can I do?
Throw desks at the monster. Wrangle the monster. I'm honestly curious about this one more than anything, so... Taking advantage of his hindered speed, Tabby snatched the string of skulls and caution tape off the balls. Now she was the one stampeding towards Mr. Monster. Tabby grinned, knowing he wouldn't be able to lay a single claw on her. She made several tight turns around the beast, wrapping the decorations around his legs with speed and agility. Mr. Monster thrashed around violently, but the makeshift binding seemed to hold for now.
Oh, wait. Oh, there's something familiar about that monster.
Like what?
Sparkles, maybe? Isn't that magic?
The decorations around Mr. Monster's legs began to tear.
Tabby, that's not gonna hold! Quick, use the wand!
Of course, yes! On cue, Tabby swung the wand at Mr. Monster and beat him with it.
Not like that! Wave it around!
Sorry! Tabby aggressively waved the wand at Mr. Monster, managing to smack him in the face again. Mr. Monster slumped back, eyes rolling around in pain.
I said around! Like, around!
Yes, Tabby moved her arm in a wider circle, swinging the wand above her head like it was a lasso. A soft glow enveloped both of them. As if by magic, Tabby felt the ridiculous outfit she was wearing pop off. Suddenly, she was back in her regular clothes.
Woo! Glad that worked.
Yeah, you and me both, bro. The monster's whimpers faded into a groan of a rapidly approaching middle-aged teacher. I'm still wondering who locked the door. The soft light dissipated. Mr. Teacher blinked once, twice. He struggled instinctively against the decorations binding his legs and then looked around the room, horrified. On cue, someone pounded at the door. What now? Miraculously, the locked door swung open and students poured into the room. It's not what it looks like. I was definitely not kidnapping the teacher. It was clear from the sound levels that the small crowd had formed outside. Gossipy chatter turned immediately into horrified gasps. They were audible from the hall and maybe even the other classrooms.
I thought I felt an earthquake or something. We couldn't get in.
What even happened here? Where's Mr. Teacher? Tabby, what's going on?
Wait, where did the teacher go?
Mr. Teacher? Are you alright?
The other students quickly took in the sight of Tabby looming over their bound and bruised teacher. Shredded construction paper and wood dust flittered through the air. Tabby's pride at having defeated a monster quickly shifted into nervous apprehension.
That Tabby is something else. Did she seriously ruin our decorations?
How is that what you're worried about? Mr. Teacher looks like he's on the verge of tears.
This can't be good.
Is that really his name?
yeah.
I'm okay. I'm alright. Okay. Oh, I think I might have broken a rib. Give me one moment.
Come on, guys, hang on. The other students removed the decorations binding Mr. Teacher's legs, wincing when the paper crafts tore in the process.
Did she beat him up? I didn't know Tabby could be so... I can't even think of a good word.
So horrible.
The last accusation finally shook Tabby out of her stupor.
It's not my fault. It was Mr. Teacher. He wasn't himself. He started throwing stuff at the decorations.
That's impossible. Mr. Teacher wouldn't do that. He loves Halloween.
You weren't there. He turned into a monster.
I can't believe you do all this and lie about it. We thought you were cool.
I am cool, I promise.
Now, hold on, guys. Let's hear Mr. Teacher's side of things. Is Tabby telling the truth?
Please, Mr. Teacher. Please don't tell a lie. My reputation's bad already.
I'll be in the nurse's office.
Mr. Teacher got up with multiple groans and winces, gratefully accepting the support of nearby students. Mr. Teacher!
Why won't he tell them?
Mr. Teacher, please come back to tell them what happened.
Doesn't seem like he's in any shape to say much of anything right now, Tabby.
I can't believe this. I can't believe you guys think it was all my fault.
Whose fault is it then? No one else was in here.
Just calm down, Tabs. If you explain yourself well enough, I'm sure they'll listen.
Definitely.
Take a deep breath. In, out, and elaborate.
I already did elaborate. There's nothing left to say. I was in the room with Mr. Teacher, and he turned into that horrible beast. He was crushing desks and everything.
Real nice story, Tabby. But what does that have to do with wrecking our decorations?
Wait, what?
My poor paper pumpkins.
We're gonna get disqualified now.
But I didn't wreck them. And I wouldn't have even been put in this situation if it wasn't for...
Enough!
Caleb?
This back and forth is getting us nowhere.
Caleb stepped forward and stood between her and the crowd of students. Despite his outburst, he didn't seem angry and smiled kindly at them instead.
I'm sure nobody meant any harm. Things happen, right?
Right.
Why don't we all just drop the unpleasantness?
For a split second, he directed his smile at
We
Tabby.
can work out the details later. I'll talk to Tabby, and...
We'll go check on Mr. Teacher.
Fantastic idea. Just what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go too.
Thank you, Stu. You're a real trooper. As for everyone else, shoo. I promise. We've got this handled.
At Caleb's authoritative direction, the group that had formed dissipated. After a few seconds, Tabby was alone with the green-haired boy.
So, is this a friend of yours?
No.
What? No! I don't hang out with other people.
Ah, how did I know?
Ignoring Strength's comments, Tabby focused her attention on Caleb, unsure what he wanted with her, or if she could still trust him after he disappeared on her. The last thought faded away as Tabby noticed Caleb had a gremlin of his own on his shoulder. Why does it look like snobbish? Unlike Strength, Caleb's pixie companion had a quieter energy. He stared at Tabby with critical and sleepy eyes.
Looks like there was a lot of destruction.
Indeed, and yet our prize seems to have gotten away. For now.
Your prize? I'm confused.
Who are you again?
I am Caleb. We spoke earlier this morrow.
This morrow?
Why does he talk like that? Did he always talk like that? No, not you. That. The little guy.
The name's Magician.
Uh-huh.
And you are Tabitha.
Right.
Hold on. Why does everyone know my name? My full name!
Caleb spoke again, pushing his glasses higher up on the bridge of his nose.
You have my apologies. It would seem as though my plans have slightly... what's the word? Misfired.
Uh-huh. And what were your plans exactly, Caleb?
Misfired? Misfired? That's more than a misfire, you weirdo! You sicked that crazy monster on me?
The answer to that is ambiguous. Yes and no. Both can be, and indeed are, true.
Can you cut the crap? Explain yourself and use words under 4 syllables.
My intentions all along have been to get that horrible bully in detention.
What?
He's a menace. An annoying, terrible menace. Like a cicada in an otherwise perfectly brewed cup of coffee.
What did this guy even do, though? Caleb's tirade came to a sudden halt as Magician wordlessly tugged on his collar. In response, the boy tilted his head to listen as the pixie whispered something into his ear.
What's that? The metaphor makes no sense.
Magician nodded.
Like a cicada in a screened door. All he does is make a racket without any care of who he's scaring.
He stopped for a moment, seeking the pixie's approval. Is that right? Did I get it right? When Magician nodded again, Caleb took it as permission to continue.
As you can see, I'm also a friend of Pixies. My most powerful ally is Magician, the pixie of manipulation.
Magician gave Caleb its collar a sharp tug.
A magical influence.
Right.
I can stack any situation in my favor, with the extra power to trigger transformations, often of an unpleasant kind.
Wow.
The assignment was clear from the start. Get Eden to fight the teacher, or wet himself trying.
You're trying to get him killed?
Get Eden sent to detention, ruin Eden's reputation, book a vacation to celebrate, I don't know.
With each word that left Caleb's mouth, Strength's round little face twisted into an increasingly worried frown.
If that was your master plan, you failed, Four Eyes! You got me in hot water instead! Your stupid scheme was super convoluted. You think a big Dumbo like Eden could have survived those teeth long enough to get detention?
Yeah, I don't think they thought this through, or his plan was just to end Eden and get him out of the way for some reason.
Even if you wanted to terrify him, you didn't have to deadlock the door. I could have been killed!
Yeah.
The door?
Yeah?
But that's never happened before. Our power doesn't work on inanimate objects.
I told you it was a terrible plan, Caleb. You should have listened to me.
Caleb frowned, clearing his throat.
I didn't mean for you to get involved, of course. But you were never in any real harm.
From whose, perspective here?
I would have stepped in. You understand? Had your powers not kicked in.
Right.
Everything was still within my calculations. And for your sake, we had to keep the monster contained.
For my sake?
It would have been a disaster if the beast rampaged through the school. You might have been blamed for some kind of horrible witchcraft.
So, you were just looking out for me?
Exactly. You think I would have just abandoned you in your time of need?
Yes.
Of course not. I had to play my cards right for our sake. Which unfortunately involves subjecting you to close proximity with that orange-haired wretch.
What orange-haired what?
But he was almost in our grasp. Look how close we got.
Indeed. Imagine what the two of you could achieve together, fully powered up.
Yes, the heights we could reach, the punishment we could inflict.
Punishment?
Or we don't think about that. I'm a big fan of talking things out instead.
Your execution was patchy at best, but I can agree that it would have been pretty entertaining to see that guy suffer for once.
Yes, I knew you would understand. Only we can bring that candy gobbling fool to his knees.
Candy gobbling?
So, what did Eden do to you?
They eat your candy?
What didn't that bully do? He got up to every bit of mischief in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd commit arson on my house, if given the chance.
Jeez, dude.
I swear, it was that bad.
That's why you call him candy gobbling. Yes, yes! Finally, someone else who understood what she had been through.
Right? He's always getting up to something. It's so frustrating.
It's always like this. He starts the fight and then kicks you while you're down.
What? Tabby nodded, eyes glinting with vindication.
Things are different now, though. Even a wounded dog will bite. And anyone who would kick a poor, innocent, bone-loving puppy should expect the gnawing of teeth. The teeth of vengeance.
Okay, drama queen.
So what you're saying is, technically, we're not the ones in the wrong here. Eden is an annoying so when I argued with Eden, it was probably his fault.
How was this now his fault?
Huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
same.
In that case, what I really need to do is to use my powers to purge evil.
Yes.
What?
Like you said, there's nothing more evil than tormenting an already tortured soul.
Tabby grinned, gleefully coming to her conclusion.
So if Eden is evil, then I can blast him!
Yes!
No! Are you crazy, Tabby? You're not gonna blast some random kid.
Well, why not? Come on, bro!
He's not just some random kid, Strength. He's my rival. Just
Oops.
look at him. Who knows what kind of f***ed up and wicked plans are brewing under those cheap, box-dyed highlights.
What?
He's asking for a blasting.
If you blast him, you'll go to magic jail.
Yes. Yes, magic jail.
He's asking for a highly legal and purely metaphorical blasting.
Definitely metaphorical. Not at all planning to do that.
Well, as fun as it would be to vaporize every annoying person on Earth, there are other ways to get revenge on them.
Fun? Wait, revenge?
What's wrong with some healthy spite, Strength? You look like someone pissed in your cereal.
Jesus. This is middle school, right?
Tabby, we can't be talking about the same stuff here. Vanquishing evil is cool, but you're getting it all wrong. Evil isn't just whatever you don't like.
But why not?
Well, it seems you're being outvoted at the moment. None of us like it.
Besides, vengeance is the strongest emotion there is. Real strength happens when you want to move heaven and earth for a just cause, right?
And our cause is most certainly just.
Is it?
An 8th grade boy.
Yes.
An 8th